Good morning, afternoon, evening, friends. How are you all doing? I hope you're well. I'm not so good at the moment. Oh my goodness. I don't think talking would hurt, but it is. I'm feeling a little bit fed up and frustrated, I'll be honest with you. I've got a bit of an infection. Oh man, it's right up here, and ridiculously painful. It's keeping me awake at night, hence I look a bit bleh. But the biggest thing is it's keeping me out of the garden. I'll explain that in a second. Yeah, and I'm kind of really cross with myself. I'm very good at beating myself up. But you know what? This is a lesson for us all, isn't it? I started to get this pain. Oh God, it's right up here. Just before Christmas. It's kind of dullish. And I thought, oh gosh, it's a tooth, I'm going to need a filling. Putting off going to the dentist. I don't like going to the dentist. There are a number of reasons, some very, very good reasons, which I don't really want to go into. But yeah, I was really nervous about going to the dentist. And also there's the whole cost thing. I've recently found out that I can get help with my dental costs. It's another one of those things in the UK where, you know, to get help with stuff, you need to be on benefits. And because I'm not on benefits, I don't qualify for help. But there are some, it's like I was mentioning the other day in the shed about frugal gardening and me getting a bit of a discount for my allotment plot. There are some situations where even though one isn't on benefits, if one can prove one's low income, then there is help available. So I got that certificate of help. Put off calling the dentist, put off. Meanwhile, the pain was getting more and more. And it got to this stage it was about 10 days ago, and I thought this is ridiculous because it was starting to keep me awake at night. So I put my big girl pants on, called the dentist, went to see the dentist. It's a new dentist to me, same practice, but a new dentist. And he was so lovely. He was absolutely brilliant. My fear and my issues with the dentist are so much that when I'm in the chair, I am literally shaking. There have been numerous occasions where I fainted in the chair because of my fear. I cry. I mean, it really is a big deal for me. Like I said, there are reasons behind that, but there we go. Anyway, he was great. He was really wonderful. Had all my x-rays done. And actually, there's nothing wrong with my teeth. I need a little bit of work here and there. Just, I've got one filling that needs a bit of a repair, but it's a repair, and that's not where the pain is. But yeah, I've got an infection. It's right up here. Now the lesson that I'm trying to say is, I think I've probably had this infection has been going on for weeks. So of course I'm on antibiotics now and painkillers. They're not doing anything. I'm nearly a week into these antibiotics, and at the moment it's not made any difference. Hopefully it will in the next couple of days. But yeah, you know, if you've got something going on, if you've got an unusual pain somewhere, a lump, a bump, a rash, a change of colour, whatever it is, if you notice something different in your body, please don't be like me. Go and get it seen to straight away. Because the sooner you get something seen to, the sooner it can be sorted out. And I think my concern with this is it's going to take a lot of fighting to get rid of this infection because I've left it so long. It's got a good hold in there. Anyway, yeah, nurses, we are the worst, aren't we? And I'm sure there's loads of you out there who are nurses, who are ex-nurses, and I don't know what it is about us. Maybe it's that sense that it's kind of sort of selfish to take time out to look after ourselves, that we should be spending our time looking after other people. I don't know. But please, please, please heed my advice. If you've got a pain or an ache somewhere, get some help. Owie. It's right, I mean, it goes right up to my eye socket. My zygomatic is killing me, my zygomatic. That's my cheekbones. Your cheekbones are called your zygomatics. I was thinking about, and it hurts to cough, I was thinking about this as I was going to sleep last night, that my zygomatic was aching. So I was sort of lying on, I've been trying all sorts. Ice makes it worse, hot water bottle makes it feel a little bit better. But I was sort of trying to lie on that side last night, just to sort of like hold it, make it feel held. And I was lying there thinking, oh, my zygomatic bone aches. And as I was thinking it, I was thinking, that's a great Scrabble word, isn't it? It's a fantastic Scrabble word. I wrote it down so I could spell it out loud to you, because I'm not a very good speller. I'm very good at saying good words, but I can't spell them. It's Zygomaatic. And it was making me giggle to think about. I remember a game of Scrabble I had years ago, 10 plus years ago. Actually, it was with one of my really, really good friends, Sarah, who I used to have the plot with. We got the plot together to begin with, and then she moved to a small holding, lucky girl. We were having a game of Scrabble one night, and I managed to, I think I bridged 2 words, and I got like a triple word score. Or so anyway, I got a crazy high score from the word thrombus. She was really ticked off, and she said, right from now on, you are not allowed to use medical or nursing words. So I was thinking about, I was kind of smiling to myself thinking about it. So yeah, zygomatic, cheekbone. But then I also thought, what about xiphoid? That's another really good one. Xiphoid. What are you going to do with that collection of letters other than spell xiphoid? How fantastic. So your xiphoid process is right at the end of your sternum. So you've got your sternum here, and all your ribs are attached and they come out and around. And right at the end, there's a little bit of cartilaginous material, and it's called the xiphoid process. And pretty much every nurse knows the xiphoid process very well, because we use it, we palpate the xiphoid process if we're having to pass a feeding tube. So up the nose, down the back, and into the stomach. We want to know how long that tube needs to be to get into the stomach. So we palpate the xiphoid process, then 2 fingers below, that's our stomach. So we know that that's long enough to get through the cardiac sphincter and into the stomach. Job's a good one. So yeah, if you're a Scrabble player, stick those 2 in your armoury. Zygomatic, xiphoid. Brilliant. Oh, the things that entertain us at night, eh? Yeah, so it's a little bit frustrating. I'm not gardening because of it. Because what I'm finding is... Oh, and listen, I'm just going to say, I know there are people with far, far, far bigger health issues than me at the moment. Of course there are. You know, I feel for anyone who's going through anything major. I hope that goes without saying. But yeah, just in my own little world, here on my own, this is horrid at the moment. And I hope it goes soon. But yeah, the problem with this is, if I move my head, particularly I'm finding if I bend forward, it's like this massive whoosh of pain comes up through my head. It's awful. The only thing I can liken it to is biting down hard on tin foil on a filling, times that by about 10 with an electrical current going through it. Sorry, did I just make you all squeamish? I'm so sorry. Yes, so even things like bending over to tie up my shoelaces, oh, it's just unbearable. And of course in the garden, there's a lot of that. There's a lot of my head tipping forward to look down into the beds. So I just thought, there's no way. There's no way I want to do that. I've got plenty to get on with at home, as always. It is a little bit frustrating though, because pretty much throughout the whole of January, I haven't done any gardening. I managed to sow the peas and the sweet peas right back at the beginning of January. But since then, all I've done down in the garden is I had a jolly good sort out in the shed, bringing some more stuff home from the shed. Obviously, you saw the shed tour. I've done a few harvests, but I haven't done any actual gardening. And yeah, I'm really missing it. As I've mentioned a couple of times before, there's nothing urgent. I'm not overly concerned, thinking, oh, you know, I'm on a time scale with all this stuff. If I don't do it by now, it'll never happen. None of that. Although I do want to lift and divide the tree lily really soon, because that's going to be starting to sprout and come back to life. Yeah, I'm just missing being in the garden. I'm missing seeing folk down there. Ow. Because even though it's at a distance, it's still that kind of human contact. I feel like I've spent the whole of January in these four walls, and I don't think that's very good for me. As much as I enjoy my own company, I think I am feeling a little bit lonely at the moment. Although having said that, I am quite good at entertaining myself. I'm going to see if I can have a little slug of water. Yeah. And the other thing, of course, is throughout January, I meant to mention this straight away, I'm sorry. Throughout January, well, that first week, we were frozen pretty solid, so I didn't really want to be doing anything in the garden, or not on the soil anyway. And then we went from frozen to just rain. So many rain days. It's unbelievable. I mean, it has been so wet this January. Generally, we do get a lot of rain days in January, but this year, so many. And I know we've just had Storm Christoph has passed through. By the time you see this, that'll have been a few days ago. And just awful in Wales, up in the northwest. So my heart goes out to everybody. If your garden is flooded, that's awful, but it can be remedied. Where my heart bleeds for people is when it's their homes. I have experienced flooding once before, and I know the misery, I know the time it takes to get sorted again afterwards. So, I'm thinking of you. I sincerely hope none of you have been adversely affected, but I know there are people out there who have, so just trying to send out some positive, fortifying vibes. So yes, the garden will wait. The list of jobs I've got for it, they're all lovely jobs, and I can't wait to get stuck in. And actually, hopefully by the time this isn't necessarily sorted, but is less painful, hopefully by the beginning of February, back into the garden and crack on, which would be great. But in the meantime, I have been gardening vicariously through Paul, from Richard and Paul. I know so many of you subscribe to them as well. Like I say, cooped up for the best part of a month. So I've had a chance. It's difficult to watch. I'm kind of doing, organise your thoughts. I'm sort of doing stuff, I'll show you what I'm doing in a second, doing stuff and listening and half watching. But it's been great to follow what Paul's been up to this month, because he posts a little bit from his allotment garden every day on their Facebook group. But then at the end of the week, he puts all those bits together and they go on YouTube under the banner of A Week at the Plot. I'll have to remember to put a taggy, linky, whatever thingy in here so you can see it. So it's lovely to get a little bit of gardening vicariously through Paul each day. But he's also started a new series, which I think is really lovely. It's a great idea, especially for any of you who are brand new to gardening this year. I think one of the most daunting things when you first start is it's just like the organisation of when do I do things, where do I do them? You've got myriad seed packets in front of you. Oh my goodness, what am I supposed to be doing? When? So I am going to be continuing with my What to Sow series at the beginning of each month. But what Paul's doing is a lovely thing called Grow Along. So each video, there's a little icon. You can't miss it. It's like a sort of green and yellow, it's almost like a sunflower with Grow Along written on it. And he's aiming this at, I guess, newer gardeners. So literally grow along with Paul. So his timings are going to be for those of us in zones 8, 9, that sort of zonage, talking of zones. And it'll just be a great little prompt each time of, this is what we're saying, this is what we're saying. So he's sort of showing us the seeds, really clearly naming everything so you can get exactly the same seeds as him, to see how yours fare. Actually, I don't think you'll be able to get all of exactly the same seeds as him because he's got some pretty unusual things. Oh, I just thought, what a great segue. I'm a genius, hang on. He's got a pea, a garden pea, a green pea. It's quite unusual and it's called Train Driver. Why didn't I think of this earlier? And I was thinking, that looks fab, but it's nigh on impossible to get hold of. The reason it's a segue is because as well as listening to Paul doing his gardening and getting my gardening vicariously, I've been listening to masses of old episodes of anything to do with trains because I'm a huge train nerd. Some of you will know that from previous videos, like the train ride down to my great aunt's that I love, the steam train down at my grandparents' old place. Absolutely nuts about trains. I'm going to talk about it a bit more one day because I've got some special stuff I want to share with you on the subject. But yeah, so in the meantime, there's been great telly shows. There's Tony Robinson went all over. What was his? I can't remember what his series was called. The Chris Tarrant series, Extreme Railways. Not a huge fan of Chris Tarrant. I don't know. He's a bit too silly for me. I know. But he goes on some amazing routes. Obviously, there's the whole Michael Portillo series. I can't remember what it's called even, but it's where he follows the Bradshaw's train guide. Sees how much has changed. But I love these shows because I can listen. It's like having a story read to me. And it's that wonderful combination of, I get my clickety-clack train nerd stuff. Woo-hoo! So I get all my gorgeous train nerdy stuff. It's travel and adventure, which I love. History, it's all, these shows are always chock full of history and myths and legends and art. Honestly, I've been thoroughly enjoying listening to these things while I've been working. Great company, great entertainment. Now, the level of my nerdiness with trains extends to on YouTube, and there are loads of them. You can see shows where it's the driver's cab eye view of a journey. I know, God help me. There's a fantastic one actually from Wareham. This is in Dorset, my grandparents' old place, from Wareham down to Swanage, when they managed to reinstate the entire line that had been cut as part of the beaching cuts. The heritage Swanage Heritage Railway Society have managed to complete the whole line now, and this was the inaugural train journey from Wareham to Swanage and back, seen from the driver's cab. I loved it. I can't remember how long it is. It's over an hour. I watched the whole thing. I stopped everything I was doing and I just sat in the cab along with the driver and watched it. And it was beautiful because I know that route so well. I know all those villages so well. Oh, it's absolute bliss. Yeah. If you're nerdy like me about those things, yeah, do have a look online. I think if you Google, you know, train driver view or train cab view, amazing. So yes, been keeping myself thoroughly entertained as possible, both in terms of waiting out for the rain to finish, waiting for this to get better, stopping myself from going to doolally. But at the moment, what I'm on is I'm making, I've got about 200 to make. So far, I've spent a couple of days already. Look, myriad of different papers. Oh, look, these beautiful. I love these. These, actually, let me show you these. This little handful. These are all reprints of Liberty, various Liberty fabrics. I'll try and show them all to you. Aren't they gorgeous? So these are all going to be transformed into seed packets. I've got a whole video on it. So at the moment it's that shape. This gets folded up and under, the edges all stuck. But the stage I'm on at the moment is I'm making all the little labels. So the labels then go on here and they get stitched on. I'll link the video I made about how to do these. So it does take a while. It takes a lot of time. But they're so lovely at the end. So I've got those ones, and I've also got this slightly new shape design I'm doing, but it's the same principle. This side folds under that way, fold, and then, you know, label there. It's just because I had different sizes of different paper. So I've gone through my whole stash of papers. Some of them are vintage, some of them are slightly newer. Myriad designs. I've had these papers for ages. Let me show you. Wellies, watering cans, flower pots. So cute, aren't they? So yeah, I've had all those papers for ages. I finally got round to it. I've sat there for best part of a day, drawing the templates, sheet after sheet after sheet after sheet. Then another day, cut. They're all cut out. So the stage I'm at now is to make my labels, and they're made from this beautiful, this is a very heavy bond paper, but rather than cutting the labels out, the cut edge is it's too hard somehow. It's not nice. So these are all hand torn. So, I mean, if you look at the edge of the paper there, it's sharp edge. And then you look, can you see, I don't know if you can make that out, but it basically softens the edge. But again, it takes ages because it's a case of folding, and then I use my little steel ruler to really press into the folds so I can gently tease those fibres apart to give that lovely soft edge. So I've got a whole stack of this to do. Then, once these are all torn, then they'll all be sewn onto the packets. Once they're all sewn on, the packets can be folded, glued together, and then I'll have two lots. One that I'll fill with seeds that can go into my shop, and those will all have a little hand-painted picture of the vegetable on them. And then the rest I'm going to leave blank, and what I'm hoping to do is sell them probably in bundles of 3, so that because I get asked for them and about them all the time. So I thought, yes, let's get on and do it. They'll be in bundles of 3, I think, and sort of complementary sort of designs, colours, patterns. And then you can use them either for, and the label will be on, but it'll be blank. You can either use them for your own saved seeds, but I was also thinking they'd make a really nice little gift packet. So, for instance, I know it's something I've done for my nephew over the years, other rallies. Sometimes we don't know what to give a person, so we just want to give them a bit of cash. But nice to just pop, like, you know, a £20 or a £10 note or even a £5 note. It's that kind of time, isn't it? Even a £5 note would be lovely these days, wouldn't it? But to tuck a note in, seal it down, and then on the front, on the blank label, you can just write your little gift message. So, that's what I'm going to be getting on with. I think in terms of price, let's see how it goes, but I think it'll be £2 for 3, which it kind of, in a way, it sort of like feels expensive because it's only paper, but there's a lot of work in them. And also they're going to be completely unique. Well, you can't have half unique, can you? They will be unique and made with a lot of love and a lot of care. So yes, hoping to plough on with these and maybe have them in the shop by the end of January or into the first week of February. I will let you know. So yeah, I've got plenty to keep me busy. It's not like I sit at home twiddling my thumbs and watching daytime TV. What is it my great aunt watches? Bargain Hunt. Is it Bargain Hunt? It's so funny because when I'm there, I miss that so much. It's coming up it's 11 months since I've been there. I miss the train ride, I miss the seaside, but I miss her. When I am there, she's got the telly on with the volume at 120 because she's so deaf and won't use her hearing aids. So I get to hear all her programmes. So if I'm in the kitchen, because quite often while I'm there, I'll make a load of food up, whack it in the freezer so she's got fresh homemade food, or I'll be doing cleaning or whatever it is, and all I can hear in the background is her daytime TV of Bargain Hunt, Homes Under the Hammer, that sort of thing. Countdown, do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do, boom. Bless her. She's fine, by the way. I caught up with her carers a couple of days ago, I think it was. Food is always an issue. What will she eat? What can we interest her in? But apparently her new thing at the moment is she's enjoying Sunday roast every day. That's all she wants. She wants a roast for her lunch every day. And for pudding, she wants stewed fruit and custard. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. So that's what she's having. It's great, A couple of years ago, even a year ago, about this time last year, she was really not eating much, and it was so worrying. I'd put, tempting tasting morsels in front of her. Do you want to try this? No. How about this? No. How about this? But she seems to have got her appetite back. Yay! So this month we're on Sunday roast lunch every day. A couple of months ago it was fish. She was back into fish. I don't know what it will be next month. As long as she's eating, I don't care what she's eating. Anyway, right, well, I've rambled on. I'm going to now plough on with this, with getting my little today's jobs done. Hopefully the antibiotics will start to really kick in. I don't know why they haven't kicked in yet, but and I can get back to gardening, I can get back to doing my first love. In the absence of that though, here it's warm, it's cosy, some beautiful light coming in today. I'm not complaining. Yeah, I just definitely want to underline that. I'm not complaining about this. I mean, I am. It's really horrible. But I mean, in the grand scheme of things and knowing what other people are going through at the moment, this is small fry, absolute small fry. I just really want it to go now. So hopefully by the next time I see you, it will have done. So until then, gorgeous people, please look after yourselves. if you're stuck inside like me too, create something. I'm sure there are some of you who've got sewing machines in cupboards still that you haven't dusted off for years. Why don't you go and have a root and get your sewing machine out and play on your sewing machine a bit. Whatever you do, whatever you get up to, try to do it with joy, try to do it with love, try to do it with the train on in the background. Such a comforting sound, isn't it? Yeah. Whatever else, please look after yourselves. If you've got a little niggle going on, get it seen to pronto. All right, gorgeosities, I'll see you soon. But until then, bye for now.